So if you can hold on to this picture a little longer, it'll be explained further on in Moses. I didn't get this the first time. The verse 22, I have been a stranger in a foreign land. That's what Moses said. And this is also what could be called one of those backwards euphemisms. I mean, the backwards euphemism of the Pharaoh's daughter was that she didn't find Moses in the river like a nice little fairy tale, like probably in a fairy tale that was written before then. She was raped by her dad. And when you read verse 22, try to think maybe what he's saying is exactly backwards to that. I have been a stranger in my father's house. I have been a stranger in the palace. My father did not recognize me. Okay? And this is a very important point to know about Moses, because that's the whole story, is him and his father in this conflict. And this him and his father in this conflict might even be more the story than the story is, because we know the story cannot be true, because there's no way 600,000 soldiers plus their family went out to the desert and lived for 40 years. And we'll explain some of those things eventually, but not today. So think of it from a psychological point of view. The Moses, who thought he might have thought that he deserved to be the pharaoh, because he was the son of the pharaoh and the son of the pharaoh's daughter. He was about as royal as you could get, because all of his blood was very royal. But because of the image that was being sold at the time, this image of nice family, and this image being sold, of course, so that the kings would have the advantage of the first child. And if you think this is too far, you have to work with me. I'll keep on it. And okay, wait, we'll do one more. Okay, what I wanted to say is, think of Moses as the poor little rich boy. The poor little rich boy that had been ignored by his father. And this, in case you don't know, happens over and over again, even today. And you get people reacting in the most strangest ways, and quite often these reactions are not good. A boy that does not get any love from his father and is rejected by his father is a boy that's going to most likely grow up with some troubles. And this can very possibly be that he would grow up with troubles a little bit more serious and severe than boys with other troubles. So keep that in mind, that this could actually even be a fairy tale. It's a hardcore fairy tale, but there's things to be learned. Even if you read Aesop's fables, there's things to be learned. And when you read something about a virgin giving birth, that could very well be a euphemism for the child was raped. So when we talk about lords and God in the where are we, in Exodus, Moses was more than likely very well off. I mean, the Pharaoh's daughter would have taken care of him. She had him in the place there with him. So he would have also had influence enough to collect his own army. And this army would be well dressed with their nice metal swords. And they would be called lords, because that's what you call soldiers, or they kill you. And his soldiers were the lords, and you always see them popping up in the Bible. The lords were real people. And this whole takeover was a serious and military takeover. It wasn't done with mad slaves jumping up, and it wasn't done with God doing the Passover thing. Think about it for a second. The firstborn child of every Egyptian murdered for, I can't remember the reason. They were just murdering. Well, I'll explain the real reason. Part of the real reason was to tell Dad, you're an asshole, and all your children, I'm going to kill them. Because a lot of those firstborn children were children of the Pharaoh, because that's what pharaohs did. As much as they like to sell the image of a nice family, when you have the power of a king, you tend to rape young, beautiful, delicious, nice smelling. I mean, think about it. If you're a man, what could be more delicious than to have 600 virgins, and they could have them. Of course, it misses out on compassion, and that's probably one of the biggest problems with it. And I think Moses is a good illustration of that. If you're having, if you're raping women, the children are going to eventually get up there and kill you. It's just as simple as that.